thanks to the Borderlands staff for letting me, I don't know if it's a first, but it's been a while since they've had translations, and they let me do a critical introduction on a poet who was born in 1962 in Munich. His name is Ludwig Steinherr. And I'm going to spare you the critical introduction and let you read that at your convenience. So I'm going to read 3 poems by him. I was contemplating doing the old Robert Bly trick of reading each poem twice to make sure you got it, but I think I'm going to dispense with that, and I'll just give one reading for each poem, but I'll try to make it slow. First poem is called Biographies, and he's changed his style. I've looked at some of his recent books of poems, and I think people have encouraged him to use longer lines, less minimalism, which he was noted for in his first 10, 15 years of writing. So what I'm going to be reading you are the minimalist poems. And basically, Steinherr told me that he learned a lot from reading William Carlos Williams, especially the short poems. But his poems are not so bad as the kind of notorious bad imitations of William Carlos Williams that circle around in creative writing programs all the time. But that's okay too, because we all need to find some place to start. So I'll read his 3 poems. The first one is called Biographies. The poet died because he fell through the ice, because he plunged out a window while feeding the pigeons, because a branch struck him dead on the Champs-Élysées, because he swallowed the toothpick of an olive in his martini. There is never a lack of obvious reasons. Actually, I can tell you 2 of these. The person that fell through the ice was a German poet, an expressionist poet named Georg Heim. And you may know the last one, Sherwood Anderson, who wrote Winesburg, Ohio. That's the way he died. He swallowed a toothpick, and it didn't get caught in his throat, but it settled in his intestinal system, and he got peritonitis and died. So, but I like the way I mean, it's grim, I know, but I like the way he sets this up, and he's not, giving a biography of each person. He's just saying the poet died, and there's a lot of that. So, anyway, well, this poem is called "Even the Atom." Even the atom is infected, is open to attack, seducible to pain, lust, light, and dark. To a red storm, a splitting bolt of lightning, to eating up and being eaten up, to the silent pleasure of metaphysical games. Minimalist poem. Turns out it's a sonnet, so it's got 14 small lines. So the third poem by Mr. Steinherr is about his wife. It's called You Barefoot. And the only kind of explanatory note I should give to this is think of your art history courses where you had to look at bas-reliefs of Egyptian nobility walking and the parallel feet along with the very, very thin feet. You barefoot, your narrow feet, your narrow long toes, toes of an Egyptian woman stylized in sandstone, dancing women, priestesses, women playing recorder, wander on your soles over temple friezes, reliefs, papyrus rolls. Your feet come here from afar, They obey a very old law. Their soft parallelism recalls the shoulders of ruling couples who turn their eyes jointly, calm, to the hereafter. For such feet, it's not easy to find shoes that fit. Always, you have been a little ashamed of them. I'm going to read my two poems in the issue. First poem is called All. Planetary moods, distant and minuscule, leave us wanting even more than astronomy. Astonishment, sure. Sometimes when our thoughts are not on the pot we left boiling and have to rush back. So the quotidian means a reevaluation. Should the dog be bathed again today? Should our simple fears be sorted out? Should the very most of love be looked at squarely in the face? Always the newness, always the starting over, always the nostalgia for our best years. And then the quickness of children, how their feet are as agile as their minds. And then the way back, the putting up, the seamless cloth where all is well. This last poem is called In a Bar Near Midnight. A beautiful girl says hello. He wonders why. He smiles for the first time in months. What he needs to know is there's someone in her life. No, better not to know, not now anyway. Suddenly, he feels up to a short lecture. Ever read Goethe? He asked. Who? Goethe, the German genius who lived from 1749 to 1832. Sorry. His life was a precious stone. In his dreams, all the women in town knocked on his door. Once Napoleon himself took the time to look him up. He wrote so awfully much, it'd take years to read him, and he never even found anyone he could put a wedding ring on. But as an old man, he lived with a girl, 19, Christiana Vulpius, who bore him a son. In world literature, only Shakespeare and Dante can compare. Wouldn't you like to meet a writer as talented, as godly? You know the gods chose him. Wouldn't you like to remain in the company of someone like him? No, not really. I just need a light.